Hello, my name is Nagasai Purvats. Today I am going to talk about 8051 microcontroller applications and its architecture. The 8051 is a microcontroller. A microcontroller is a device. A microcontroller is an embedded system or a device which has a memory inside it, which stores the program which we want to execute on it. And the 8051 architecture is, in simplest terms, is in this way. It has an interrupts, controls and CPU. It does have a CPU. It has a CPU, an oscillator, bus control and IO ports. There are 4 IO ports for the 8051 and bus control, RAM and 4K flash memory. The flash memory is used as a RAM for it or ROM for the 8051. Now let us see individual blocks. The CPU. The CPU is the processing brain of the 8051. The CPU the user has no control over the work of the CPU directly. It reads the program written in the ROM and execute it and it do the expected task of the applications. Now in interrupts, the interrupt is a subroutine call that interrupts of the microcontroller's main operation and work causes it to execute another program which is more important of the time of the operation. The features of the interrupt is very useful. It is helpful in the case of emergency operations, like if you want to accept a ISP, if you want to accept an ISP or a data packet from the other microcontroller and etc. and memory. And in the memory applications, the microcontroller does not have a specific memory. It does only one task, which is to store the program and access the program and read the program. And bus control and the bus collection. Buses are the collection of data bus and the address buses. The bus consists of 8 to 16 wire lines and thus can carry 8 bits. So 8051 is an 8-bit microcontroller, so it carries only 8 bits. Now next let us talk about oscillator. The oscillator, let us say oscillator is like a clock which pulses per the given time, which is used for the operations of the microcontroller, or it is used for the construction. It is used for the main applications of the CPU, which runs on the same speed as the oscillator. Now input and output ports. The input ports and the output ports of microcontroller or 8051 are simple, which interfaces with the which is very important, because if you want to interface the peripherals or devices to the microcontroller, we need to use 8051 or input and output ports. Now let us talk about timers and counters. The 8051 required timers and counters because it needs to do measurements per intervals or to determine the pulse width of the pulses. Now up to the main task, the applications of the 8051 microcontroller are many, because 8051 microcontroller is a standard microcontroller which is most useful and robust in applications. The main 8051 microcontroller costs very cheap to produce, and the procedure to make the 8051 is easy. So most of the applications stated below use the 8051 microcontroller some way or other. Like if you want to sense light and controlling devices, then we can use 8051 microcontroller. It is used in solar panels and it is used in the small DC applications. We can also add thermal sensors and thermal control sensors or thermistors to the 8051 control, and we can also detect the temperatures. And we can also detect the fire and safety devices. Safety devices and fire detectors should be very less weight and should be robust, so they have to work on specific times. So the fire detection and the safety devices are using 8051 microcontroller, and automobile applications too. And in the defense factors, the 8051 is robust and it can work in any situations. It can work from minus 40 degrees to plus 40 degrees, so it can work in any applications. So the defense applications are useful. In industrial processes, 8051 is built to sustain industrial applications, and there are so many. We can use 8051 microcontroller for the measurement applications too, like voltmeter, ammeter, current devices, and handheld metering systems. And now let us see how different 8051 applications are in the embedded systems. Here I wrote all of them are Arduinos, but Arduino has an 8051. Arduino has an 8051 as the flash memory, so we can say that Arduino is also a application of the 8051. So there are so many applications, like it can control street lights, etc., the RFID sensor, DC control, Zigbee, GSM, remote control, 8051 farmer friendly solar based electricity, and vehicle movement system, etc. The 8051 applications are endless, and if you want some applications, now let us see the smaller applications. Now these are the different applications which we can see in the real life. Here we can see 8051, and this is the application for the temperature sensor. This is a working temperature sensor which detects the temperatures, and we can see this is an LM351. LM351 is a thermistor or a temperature sensor. It is applied to ADC or analog to digital converter, which is 0804, and the 8051 detects the data signals from the ADC, which converts the analog signal of the temperature to the digital signal, which is comprehended by the 8051. And these are the different parts. Like it is a reset button and the oscillators which are connected to this, and this is the LCD display which is used to detect the temperature, and the 8051 writes the output to this LCD. Now this is the water level sensor, and this is the water level sensor. The water level sensor, we can see different wires here, and this is the water level sensor. In this water level sensor, we are going to connect it to a same way. It is going to connect to a device. Which rings the bell. Simply it rings the bell when the level of water increases. This is the small device array wires which is used to detect the water level. In the same way, this is the 8051 microcontroller, and LCD is used to show the water level. And next one, this is the bidirectional visitor detection, which is inside the machine, which is used by the malls, airports, and etc. to detect the how many members are visiting to the malls or airports. And I will show you how it is work. And this is the LED, and this is the LDR, which shows LED is connected. It is projected to the LDR, or LED can also be an infrared sensor, and the LDR detects the sensor. And we can see here we also used an analog to digital converter, which is LM325, which is connected to an interrupt. We can see it is connected to an interrupt, and this is the display, which is the display which shows the number of visitors per minute, and when the LED to LDR, the signal is when the signal stops, the number of visitors are increased. Per minute are increased. So the value of the number of visitors are increased. Thus we can track the number of visitors which are attending and dilating by minusing the same number. If we use another LED which is connected to the exit route, and this is how you also detect the same way. This is also how you detect the or they call it the light levels also. And Thank you.